Hello everyone. Today we will explain a romance drama film, The Handmaiden. Spoiler alert, sit tight and enjoy the movie recap. Now let's start our daily recap dose. Movie starts with a scene in Korea in the 1930s, just before World War II, and opens with a local Korean woman named Soo-ki getting ready to move out of her home and into the estate of Lady Hideko, a Japanese heiress. Soo-ki is taken on a long ride until she arrives at the enormous bequest in the open country. She is greeted by a woman who takes her on a tour of the grounds, which includes a library-equipped annex. Because she is the lady of the house's handmaid, Soo-ki is instructed not to sleep in the servant quarters but rather near her. She refers to Soo-ki as Tamako and informs her that the woman frequently reads to the master, her uncle, and that he enjoys reading. After that, Soo-ki is shown her room, which is right next to the lady's bedroom. At the point when let be, Soo-ki attempts to look into the room, however boisterous clamor terrifies her back to her small bed. Soo-ki wakes up later in the night to hear the Lady Hideko screaming. She rushes into her bedroom and provides her with comfort. Hideko tells Soo-ki that her aunt had committed suicide by hanging herself from a large cherry tree, and that her aunt's ghost hangs from the branch on moonless nights. As she feeds the lady's sake and sings to her, Soo-ki shows that she is a good handmaid. We believe Soo-ki to be a Korean handmaiden named Tamako, but she is actually Soo-ki, a pickpocket who is raised by a woman who teaches children how to steal and commit forgeries. Soo-ki explains this to us via voiceover. We see in a flashback that the house sells abandoned infants to Japan. A man goes into the place of cheats and enlightens them regarding a translator who paid off his direction into an interpreting position for the high authorities. He assists Japan in annexing Korea and gets naturalized so he can marry a Japanese noble's daughter. He fabricates a chateau, loaded up with books, and welcomes Japanese gatherers to his library to hold readings of intriguing books and close out the moth. He needs to sell some of the books but doesn't want to lose possession of them, so he hired this man to tell the story and make forgeries by convincing the nobles he is Japan's Count Fujiwara. The collector's sister and wife both passed away, but the collector's niece is still alive and works as a book reader for her uncle. This woman, now an orphan, is wealthy. She has 300,000 yen in bonds and 1.5 million yen in cash. The man who goes by the name Count Fujiwara plans to make her fall in love with him, marry her, and then declare her insane and put her in a madhouse so he can inherit her fortune. In order for her to persuade her to fall in love, he wants Soo-ki to work as her handmaid. Her uncle also wants her to marry for money, but if Soo-ki can persuade her to marry the count, Hell will give her 50,000 yen and all of the dresses and jewelry. 100,000 yen is what Soo-ki wants. In an effort to persuade the staff at the estate to hire Soo-ki, she visits the estate. She is enraged because it will make her appear bad when the staff women steal her shoes as a prank. She is astonished by Lady Hideko's beauty. Although Soo-ki gives her a reference letter from the last woman she worked for, the man pretending to be Count Fujiwara has forged the letter. Soo-ki is unable to read or write Japanese because he has written it. According to the letter, a maid is like a pair of chopsticks. He has informed Soo-ki of this. She is rarely noticed, but her absence causes a great deal of distress. Lady Hideko asks Soo-ki to read it because she says that all the reading she has done for her uncle has given her a headache. Soo-ki battles to do as such from memory, guaranteeing it says she resembles a spoon, and afterward at long last concedes she is ignorant and couldn't in fact peruse in Korean. Lady Hideko stated that she does not care whether Soo-ki steals or curses, but she does not wish to ever be deceived. She asks Soo-ki if her mother is as beautiful as she is after showing her a picture. Her first attempt at starting a relationship comes when Soo-ki tells her that she has heard the Count say that he dreams of seeing her face in bed. Seo-kyung receives shoes from Lady Hideko before she leaves to attend reading practice on her own. Seo-kyung goes through each dress to see which ones the woman will keep after she is locked up. Benoit balls are her finds. She finds a rope in a hat box after trying on various hats. Seo-kyung goes outside and looks up at the cherry tree where it was said that Lady Anne hung herself. Seo-kyung comes across Lady Hideko and her uncle reading in the library. She tries to approach, but the snake tells her not to. An entryway is rolled shut, locking her out. She sees a snake statue on the ground, setting up a line of restriction that she can't cross. Seo-kyung gives Lady Hideko a bath back in her room and gives her a lollipop, which she says she used to give children so they would associate bath time with sweetness. Lady Hideko says that one of her teeth is cutting her. Seo-kyung begins shaving it down with a thimble. Throughout this, they exchange sexual energy. Seo-kyung is taken aback by Lady Hideko's bare breasts. When Count Fujiwara arrives at the estate to assist with forgeries, he asks the lady's handmaiden to help him with an errand. The Count and Seo-kyung have a private discussion about their plan. Even if he pulls on her nipples, Seo-kyung tells him that the lady is naive and won't take the hint that he wants sex. Seo-kyung must convince herself, according to Count Fujiwara, that the lady is much happier since he arrived. He also gives her something to take with her. The sapphire earrings are given as a gift by Seo-kyung. When the lady is sent to the insane asylum, they will be Seo-kyung's to keep. Additionally, she persuades Lady Hideko that the earrings are spinel. Seo-kyung's first experience with dressing up is when Lady Hideko makes arrangements for her. The sapphire earrings by Lady Hideko are the final touch to the ensemble. They open each other's clothes by buttoning them together, which is shown in a very sexual way, with Seo-kyung openly wanting to touch her. Seo-kyung inquires whether Lady Hideko intends to wed her uncle. Hideko says that's why he raised her that way because he knew he'd need her money one day. He will eventually auction off his entire library because he can't buy any more books. In an effort to charm Lady Hideko, the Count paints with her. Seo-kyung looks on, pitying Lady Hideko for being conned. When he tells Seo-kyung that a peach is ready, she begins to convince the lady that she is in love with the Count. After he leaves, Seo-kyung claims the woman's cheeks have become flushed since he's shown up. However, the woman isn't exactly persuaded. On the grounds, Lady Hideko and Seo-kyung have a private conversation about the lady's mother's death during childbirth. It's like the lady strangled her as punishment for being born. Seo-kyung takes this to heart and tells her that her mother would probably have been thrilled to give birth to her and that no baby is guilty of being born. The lady is surprised and moved by this. Seo-kyung is instructed to run errands so that the lady can be left alone when the Count arrives and takes her away. Seo-kyung rushes to grab things because she doesn't want to leave Lady Hideko with the Count. However, when she returns, she sees the dress lady mounting the dress Count, which makes her very jealous. Seo-kyung is now bitter toward Lady Hideko. Around evening time, the workers' chime is rang and Seo-kyung is called into the woman's room. She inquires as to why Seo-kyung did not greet her upon her return from her reading. Despite the fact that Lady Hideko claims she simply fell asleep, Seo-kyung is evidently still bitter about the Count's love for her. The lady suggests that Seo-kyung sleep with her because she says she can feel a nightmare coming on. She tells Seo-kyung after some time that the Count asked to elope with her when her uncle goes to his gold mine. The woman says without a mother, she's never been determined which men need. By showing her how to kiss, Seo-kyung teaches her. In order to demonstrate to her what it will be like when she falls in love with the Count, she then gets down to business. Despite the fact that they appear to be in love with one another, when the two women have their first sex, they both claim that it is just an instruction. The next time the Count and Lady Hideko are painting, he tells Seo-kyung to find another job. Seo-kyung follows suit, but she stops short. stating that she only takes care of the lady. The Count scolds Soo-ki for not supporting his plan outside the grounds. He tells Soo-ki to feel how much he wants her fortune and places his hands on his crotch, telling her he won't let her fool around. In response to Soo-ki's threat to tell her that he is just a pickpocket, he also threatens to tell her that Soo-ki is a shaman and farmhand in Korea, because she hasn't been able to support all of the people who have taken care of Soo-ki since she was a young child. She can't go home empty-handed. Soo-ki responds that Lady Hideko has no one on earth and will close up like a clam if he frightens her. She goes on to say that she will never touch his cock again. Now that the plan has been implemented, Soo-ki tells Lady Hideko that the lady is falling for the Count. However, the lady claims to be in love with someone else. However, Lady Hideko agrees to marry the Count in exchange for Soo-ki's permission to accompany them to Japan. The Count pretends to leave the estate to go to his mine, and the Count hides so he can sneak off with Lady Hideko. Hideko boarded a ferry to Japan with the Count and Soo-ki as soon as her uncle left. Hideko and the Count get married there. Soo-ki visits their room the following morning and discovers blood on Hideko's sheets, implying that she had lost her virginity. The two women are being observed by the Count. Soo-ki gives Hideko a kiss when he isn't looking. Before the week's over, Count Fujiwara is missing, asserting that he has gone to confirm the marriage and convert the legacy into cash. Soo-ki yells at him when he returns for taking her virginity and leaving her alone. He is instructed to hurry and throw Hideko into the insane asylum. Two men show up at the inn and ask Soo-ki what treatment she would recommend for Hideko. According to Soo-ki, she would like to confine her to a location where neither she or anyone else can harm her. The group arrives in town and stops at a mental health facility. Soo-ki holds up with the workers as they tell the noblewoman they will care for her. However, at that point they wind up getting Soo-ki and bringing her into the crazy house. She asserts that they have the wrong woman and that she is not the countess. As Soo-ki struggles, the Count and Hideko do nothing to protect her. The end. This is part 1 of the film. Part 2 will be uploaded tomorrow. Thanks for watching our daily recap dose. To help us grow, like, share, and subscribe, and press the bell icon to never miss the upcoming recaps. And share your reviews on the movie and comment below.